Hey everyone, Ronak here. For years, Tesla looked unstoppable. It became the world's most valuable car company, made Elon Musk the richest man on earth, and changed the automobile industry forever. But today, Tesla faces its biggest challenge yet. And surprisingly, the threat isn't coming from Ford or Toyota. It's coming from a country that Elon Musk once underestimated. A country that now controls batteries, supply chains, electric vehicles manufacturing, and is producing EVs faster and cheaper than anyone else. That country is China. And at the center of this battle stands one company, BYD. A company that started by making phone batteries and today sells more electric vehicles than Tesla. So, the question is Tesla still the future, or are we watching the beginning of the biggest power shift in automobile history? And more importantly, can Elon Musk save Tesla before it's too late?
Although there's competitors now ramping up, and as you're familiar with BYD, which is also on the West, Warren Buffett owns 10% stake in that. Why do you laugh? BYD is
I don't think they have a great product.
Tesla has lost its position as the world's biggest seller of electric vehicles. The Chinese car maker BYD is now in top spot.
Let's go back 20 years. The year is 2004. People believed EVs are slow, boring, ugly, and completely impractical. Big car companies had already tried them, but most of them failed. Many projects were quietly shut down. The world had accepted one thing: gasoline cars would rule forever. But then came a small startup called Tesla and one ambitious entrepreneur, Elon Musk. Back then, nobody imagined Tesla would become a $1 trillion company. In fact, most people thought it would fail. But here is the interesting part. Tesla wasn't trying to build an electric car. Tesla was trying to make electric cars cool. That single idea changed everything. Tesla launched the Roadster in 2008, a sports car, fast, stylish, and electric. For the first time, people saw an EV not as a compromise but as an upgrade. And that was revolutionary. Because consumers don't buy technology, they buy emotions. Tesla understood this before anyone else, and that became its biggest advantage. The next decade changed automotive history. Tesla launched the Model S, then the Model X, then the Model 3, and finally the Model Y. Each launch pushed electric vehicles further into the mainstream. But here is the shocking part. Tesla wasn't winning because of its cars alone. It was winning because it behaved like a technology company, not a car company. Traditional automakers sold vehicles. Tesla sold a vision, a future, an ecosystem, a movement. People didn't buy Teslas because they needed transportation. They bought Teslas because they wanted to be a part of the future. And investors loved that story. Think about it. Toyota sold millions more cars. Ford had factories across the world. Volkswagen was a giant. Yet Tesla became more valuable than all of them combined. How? Because investors believed Tesla wasn't a car company, they believed Tesla was the next Apple, a company that would dominate transportation, software, AI, robotics, batteries, and energy. And for a long time, that belief kept growing. Now let's understand something important. Stock market don't reward the present, they reward the future. Tesla's valuation was never based on current profits alone. It was based on expectations. Investors believed Tesla would eventually own the future of mobility, and Elon Musk was the perfect storyteller. Every few years, he presented a bigger vision: self-driving cars, robotaxis, artificial intelligence, humanoid robots, energy storage, solar power. The future always looked larger than reality, and Wall Street loved it. Because when investors believe a company can dominate an entire industry, valuation explodes, just like OpenAI. But there is a problem. Expectations are powerful, yet expectations are also dangerous. Because sooner or later, reality arrives. And that's exactly what happened. While the world was focused on Tesla, something huge was happening in China. Very few people noticed it. Even fewer understood it. China was quietly building the entire EV ecosystem. mining, battery production, manufacturing, supply chains, everything. And one company was growing faster than anyone expected, BYD. And here is an unbelievable fact: BYD started as a battery company, not a car company. Its founder understood batteries better than most automakers. And in electric vehicles, the battery is everything: cost, range, performance, profitability, everything depends on batteries. BYD mastered this earlier than competitors, and that gave it a huge advantage. Then came the real breakthrough. BYD learned how to build EVs cheaply, in fact, very cheaply. While Tesla focused on premium markets, BYD targeted mass markets, millions of middle class consumers, especially in China. And the strategy worked brilliantly. Today, BYD sells vehicles across Asia, Europe, Latin America, and beyond. And in several quarters, BYD has already surpassed Tesla in EV sales. Think about that. The company that Elon Musk once ignored is now challenging Tesla globally. Here is where things become interesting. Tesla's biggest strength became its weakness. For years, Tesla had very few models. This simplified manufacturing, reduced costs, improved efficiency, but now consumers want more choices: SUVs, compact cars, luxury cars, affordable cars, family vehicles, and even commercial vehicles. Different markets demand different products, and Tesla still relies heavily on a small lineup. Meanwhile, Chinese competitors launch new models rapidly, sometimes multiple models every year. This creates enormous pressure because innovation is no longer Tesla's monopoly, and consumers are noticing it, especially in China, the world's largest EV market. Now, let's talk about something that many people misunderstand. See, EV's demand isn't collapsing, but the growth is slowing in some major markets. And that's a problem because Tesla's valuation assumes rapid growth year after year. In countries like the United States and parts of Europe, consumers face higher interest rates, economic uncertainty, charging concerns, and affordability issues. As a result, EV adoption is growing more slowly than many analysts expected. When growth slows, competition becomes brutal and companies start cutting prices. Tesla reduced prices multiple times. At first, this looked smart. More affordable cars means higher sales, but there was a hidden cost. Profit margins fell, investors became nervous. And this brings us to the most important part of the story. Elon Musk knows Tesla cannot win by being just another car company. That's why he's making a massive bet, a bet that could either save Tesla or become one of the biggest mistakes in business history. That bet is AI. Imagine millions of Teslas driving themselves. No drivers, no salaries, and no downtime. Operating like a transportation network. 24 hours a day. That market could be worth trillions, at least in theory. But here's the problem: building autonomous vehicles is incredibly difficult, much harder than people expected. The technology has improved, but fully autonomous driving remains a challenge. Regulations remain uncertain, safety concern remains, and competitors are also racing ahead. The finish line is still unclear. Now imagine this scenario: you buy a Tesla, you sleep at night. Meanwhile, your car drives passengers around the city and earns money for you. Sounds incredible, right? That's the robotaxi dream. And Elon Musk has been talking about it for years. Because if Tesla succeeds, its business model will change completely. It stops being an automaker and becomes a transportation platform, similar to Uber but without drivers. The opportunity is enormous, but so is the risk. Because if robotaxis arrive later than expected, Tesla faces a difficult reality. It must compete directly with hundreds of EV manufacturers, and in that game, margins are lower, competition is intense, and dominance is much harder. So, where does Tesla stands today? Well, the answer is complicated. Tesla is still the world's most influential company. Its brand remains powerful, its technology remains impressive, and in fact, its charging network remains a major advantage. And Elon Musk remains one of the most influential entrepreneurs on earth. But the environment has changed. The world Tesla has created now has competitors. And some of them are learning faster than expected, especially in China. This isn't the story of Tesla failing, not yet. This is the story of Tesla entering a new phase. The phase where being first is no longer enough. Now, Tesla must prove it can remain the best, and that is much harder. Thanks for watching.